G'day, guys. Yeah, I've got a haircut. Chari said, "You look like a bushman, so we're going to get your hair cut." So she sheared me like a sheep. So anyway, now I want to talk about new detectors. And I thought, how am I going to explain this without giving too much away? It's very difficult because a lot of it's sensitive. But there's been enough talk about it that you know it's coming, but when you don't see it, you don't believe it. And that's the same with me. I don't see it, I don't believe it, unless it's from very credible sources. But I'm going to show you some history of designs. This is one that we were working on. I'm only going to show part of the pictures of these detectors. Basically, the circuit diagram. Well, not circuit diagram, sorry. The actual detector boards, um, partially made up, or nearly made up, or completely made up. But I'm doing it this way because I've had to do some changes to the pictures to remove the ID pixels out of the pictures. And every picture you take has, if you've got anything on your, well, it depends on what you're using, but it will give the time, date, and GPS location. On any picture these days, you take a picture and it can be analyzed and the data can be extracted. They change pixel locations within the photo. You can't see it unless you started looking at the pixels, and you've got to know where to look. But it has all ID in there, and I think this is made mandatory. I think Sony at one point said, no, we're not doing that. I was going to say stronger words than that, but as far as my logical opinion would think, that it is an anti-terrorist measure, because terrorists love taking photographs of various items, and especially if they've got victims that are kidnapped. They take their photos, okay, and they say, well, here, look at the photo, look what we've got. And, you know, certain departments, won't say who, can obviously analyze those photos. They will know where the camera or video, whatever it is, where it was purchased, who purchased it, because you can go back and through the records, the date, the time, the location of various photos. And I think on some of them it says, oh, you can turn off the geolocation. I don't really think it does. I think it's still hidden there in the pixel information. But anyway, we don't want to give too many secrets away. It's only my opinion anyway, but it's probably true. Okay, this is the first detector that we worked on. I'm only going to show it like this. You can see that it's pretty, well, it's only one side of it. There's a lot more to it, but that was one detector we were working on. That's a while ago. This project was scrapped, just that it didn't cut the mustard. So I'll show you some other ones, just so you know. Okay, I'll try and get you on this one here. That's it's got some writing on the board. I don't really want that on there, but I think if I hold it far enough away, this is part of the ground loop driver that we're working on for our ground loop patents. So that's a ground loop driver, high current coil driver, GPS synchronized, the whole lot. But anyway, I don't think you can read that. You have to have pretty good magnification, but it has got some writing on the board. and it's got designations, model numbers, and all sorts of. And I don't want that on there. And this is okay. This I'm going to make sure that this is not crisp enough to gather any information from. Now, I've looked into this. You can probably use AI technologies and try and rebuild it, but if I hold it far enough away, that will not be able to happen. But if you remember, I was saying that we're making one hell of a detector, right? And people go, "Oh yeah, righto, okay." Well, people in the know will get the gist of this, but I'll turn it around and I'll show you that is our new prototype. Well, first build for the new metal detector. I've had to crop it because I cropped it because it had information on the board. So it's been cropped, and I'm not going to hold it any closer to the camera than that, believe me. But you can see that you can probably see a few things if you know what you're looking at. But you know, there's some very, very fast stuff happening there. That's all. I'll leave it like that. Very fast stuff, right? And yeah, um, you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till this gets out in the marketplace. This is going to be an eye opener and a ground opener and a nugget popper. Um, yeah, it's all happening. Anyway, I'm not going to go too much into it. Well, I can point out one thing on it. That's the coil connector right there. If you can see that, there you go. Um, but yeah, it's very, very cutting edge. Very cutting edge. This is, yeah, it's quite good. It's not finished. It's just been a few more little bits and pieces have to go on the board, as you see, but the functionality is there for a lot of the detector functions, right? I don't want to say too much about it because, you know, it just is the way it is. Yeah, but you know, if I, no, I'm not going to. I was going to say, oh, if I blow that and show you that. No, I think we'll just keep it secret. But I'm going to, before I put this up too, I am going to test the video and see if I can extrapolate any data from it whatsoever by any means at my disposal. And if I can, you won't see this video, but that is very much, I'd call it light years away from anything I've looked at lately. Absolutely light years away. So it's going to come. It's going to come. Um, I don't know if you guys remember. I'll give you a little bit of a background. Okay, some time ago, would have been around about 2014, 2015. We were working on the first version of that detector. Well, it's not that detector. It's a completely new design, and it did function quite well. But we knew that it was lacking in certain areas, so it was scrapped. And at the time, I organised a full-page ad in the Gold, Gem and Treasure magazine that is published in Australia. So around about 2014, 2015. That's a long time ago when we first looked at the initial design, and we called it the UD 1000, and that was UD for Ultimate Detector. Okay, so the UD 1000 was its designator, and I'll tell you some funny things that happened. when we did that, it was called Ultimate Detector, the Ultimate Detector. That's what it was meant to be at the time. And we had a particular company try and jump on that and pass off on it, which is highly illegal, absolutely illegal doing passing off. Trying to make it that what we were doing is what their product was. So yeah, be aware. Someone nearly got fixed up over that legally, but didn't happen. We thought better of not doing it at the time. It was just a waste of resources. But now we've got a lot better resources, a hell of a lot better. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that either. So we're going to change the name of it. We're not going to call it UD1000. We're not going to call it Ultimate Detector 1000. Okay. Well, we've got another special name. So what we'll do, we'll trademark it and do a design up, registered design, and that sort of process, just to stop other companies trying to pass off on our work. So it's not going to happen. It's not that far away, this detector. The design is done. The actual design is done. And all it needs is putting together. Now, we do have a circuit board manufacturing line that is a dual lane, does 60,000 components per hour. We've got a massive, big nitrogen filled oven, which is probably the biggest one in Australia, which we got all this stuff overseas. We got everything you'd want for making mil-spec, Six Sigma spec circuit boards. Mil-spec, we can make mil-spec, not a problem. And, we got all this lined up for manufacturing. It's like I say, it's happening. It's happening, right? So, be aware. Don't go spend all your money on something that you're going to regret when this comes out. I'll just say that. I'll say it very lightly, but you can buy any new detector you want, right? But from what I know, you'll probably be selling it when this comes out. That's my opinion, okay? My opinion. So there's a lot of things taken into account here. It's a lot of work's gone into this, and we kept it fairly open to a degree in the design. The functionality was already, like we thought out the functionality, and we haven't done a final design because as newer components keep coming up, we're flexible that we can utilize better componentry that we can put in there as a last minute, just basically a re-layout of the board and maybe any other small things, but we can do it. We've allowed for that to happen, and we've also allowing for complete upgradability, that you don't have to run out and buy a new detector, whereas this one can be modularized and you can get new modules for it rather than buying a new detector. I'm not 100% sure that's the way that it's going to go. It may end up being one whole unit, but that was an option that was discussed. So we may be doing that. You may be getting an option there, or it might be in version 2 or 3. So this will be, I'll tell you right now, I know every detector out there. I've looked at everything from mine detectors, gold detectors, VLFs, PIs, in-betweens, flippity gibbets and all the rest of these new novel detectors. And this will greatly outperform all of them. And there's reasons why, and I'm not going to disclose why just yet. So, there's things happening And this is all coming. It should be right. I say should be this year. Should be this year. Um, it could be earlier, could be later. I don't know. It's not up to me. It's not up to me. I haven't got the final say on everything, and it's yeah, okay. I can't go into it in too much detail, but just be aware that when it comes out, the first place you're going to find out about it is here on this channel. You're going to find out about it right here. Um, you know, I'll give all the details. You know, the show and tell. We'll do some demos out in the bush. We'll probably take some groups out and do some group demos as well. And speaking of demos, some people have always said they looked at the old GP ZZ 7000 side by side videos I did. You know, the upgrade against the standard, and look, at the time it was really rough as guts. I was really going hard and fast trying to get these detectors done and back to the customer, and I didn't have time to run up, you know, to Denali and or Maryborough and go to all those test sites and do, you know, a whole day's testing. So that didn't happen. But we've had people request that it be done on a more scientific basis, right? So we need a test site to do that. I have a modified 7000 sitting at my feet, and another one's come in. So that one's not modified. I've got this one that's modified. We will go out. We're going to make a day of it. Uh, hopefully Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. We'll go out and we'll go to a test site and we'll do side by side proper measurements, large gold, small gold, all on the modified GPZZ 7000 and a standard ZZ 7000. So that will be interesting. I know it's going to happen because even when I did the rough comparisons, I mean, better is better, you know. I could tell a mile away it was better. And the people who got those detectors as well, they put comments there on the old videos. They were getting fantastic results. They went over old areas and got more gold. So, you know, what can you say? Anyway, what have we got here? I've got, are you finished? No, I'm not finished. So, um, okay. So anyway, let's whack that up again. That's coming. That's coming. I'm not too close, am I? Of course I'm not. But that's coming. Um, that thing, oh my God, I can't wait. I want to get one of these myself, of course. I'm going to get one. I'm going to have one. Uh, Dave will have one too, and I think we'll go straight out in the goldfield with them very, very quickly and do what we did last time. You know, we get to areas and we go through and out pops the gold. So that's I've got some nice pictures of gold too. I'm not going to show it now. I think that's enough info for this video, and yeah, I'm going to go and stick it up on the that thing behind me. If it's alive? Wakey wakey. There you go. Look at it. It's an Apple Mac running Windows XP. That's amazing, isn't it? But if you want to run old software, right, old Windows software, you need to run XP, well, or some Microsoft thing, and you got to set it up that it has absolutely no communication with the outside world whatsoever. You got to turn off everything. It tries to it looks for a way of, you know, saying, oh, you know, I've got to go and update. No, you're not, because what happens, like, you know, I paid for Windows XP and I've got it working on here. You know how you do it. I think I'm not going to go and explain it all, but because it gives the game away a little bit. But you know, it's completely legit, And if I want to run, I've got tons of engineering software, and it will not run on this, and it will not run on anything else. So I've got to do this to run the old engineering software. Well, it's not that old, it's not at 1990s around there, even 2000, and the stuff's worth thousands of dollars, and it's no good if you can't use it. So we have to go and redo our computers to run XP on it. So, or we can run anything. I've got old copies of 2098 and that all the Windows stuff. And for engineering, and all my old software, I paid for it all, and it works. So you can't let technology, as in the hardware, get in front of it and start locking you out. And says, oh no, you can't do that because you need this driver that doesn't exist anymore or whatever. They try and screw you out of the using the stuff, and what you got to do is you got to go and isolate your whole system, basically disconnect it from the internet. Don't have Bluetooth, don't have anything. It'll try and do an ET phone home, and yeah, there's things there that even if they're a little bit, um, you know, a little bit. I'm not going to say. Well, I'll put it this way, right? Even though I've got complete legal, legitimate copies of stuff, I've had it where it's gone on online. This is what happened in the past, and it did something and removed part of the system and stopped the software working. I went, "What are you doing?" And it was something to do with Oracle, um, an Oracle software update or something. And anyway, I soon learnt the lesson. Freaking, you're not talking to my software. Don't talk to it. But it's all exactly the same as what you get now. But the trouble is, everything now is software as a service, where you're put on a hook. You you know how it works. You got to keep paying. You got to pay through the nose to use it. It's like monthly or six monthly or yearly subscriptions to this stuff. And say for instance, you just wanted to go there and make one circuit board, right? You want to make one circuit board. You want to design it yourself, keep it all in house. You're gonna have to go and buy a subscription uh, to do it, and they'll sting you like crazy. But thank God there's still some vendors out there who supply free software to make circuit boards. There are, and they got quite good. I was using KiCad or KiCad, however you pronounce it, KI, and then CAD. You can't get the CAD wrong, can you? But the KI may be pronounced differently. And there's some version of Eagle I was using. Um, I've even got old Protel. What is it? Protel 2.7 or something? What Altium? Well, Altium's Protel, um, which is a freebie, or it might be even earlier than that. I've got a lot of these old freebie stuff. If you want to use anything like that now, you got to pay software as a service. You can't buy it. You can't buy it and run it alone on your computer. It's like they've got you by the curlies, and it just is. It's you know. I'll just say it's like well, here's a cow, and it's like milk, 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 and you get milked. So I'd rather just get the old stuff and keep using it. You know, I could even use the most old, what is it called? I could even use Protel 1.1 or something, whatever it was called. And that's probably the one I'm thinking of as the freebie one. And, you know, I could probably still do 90% of a board design on that if I really wanted to. It would be tedious. It would be extremely difficult, but for simple layouts, it's no problem doing that. You don't need, um, $25,000 software package or $50,000 software package, or in some cases, a $90,000 software package. Crazy, isn't it? That much money just to do a simple board. But, I suppose if you're developing anti-ballistic missile tracking systems. You might need that sort of stuff, but nah, not for me. Anyway, I hope that has been educational. Um, Educational is probably not the word for some sectors of the gold prospecting industry. It's probably like, oh no. But yeah, um, there's not just one maker who makes a loaf of bread, is there? There's many, many bakers out there. Same with detectors, you know. So we'll see what happens anyway. How all this goes. It should go well. Um, I have seen, uh, you know, sort of sectional prototypes in action with specific functionality. And some of the stuff I've seen, I sort of going like, wow, this is going to be awesome. But anyway, that's that. It's enough waffle. Someone wants me, so I better go and see what they want. And I'll hit that off button right there. Catch us later.